WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. DNA from a Columbus man helps investigators make an arrest in a nearly 3-year-old sexual assault cold case. Now, Jamari Ross is facing several charges in connection with the alleged July 2015 incident. Our Quentin Smith talks with the forensic experts that found the match.
After 3 years of going through evidence, it was DNA that helped crack this burglary and sexual assault case. 20-year-old Jamari Ross was arrested on Wednesday by Columbus police after a positive DNA match from a July of 2015 incident.
We haven't been able to make a positive identification until DNA came into the equation. Without DNA, we may not have solved it, but it was certainly a linchpin to this case.
This is video of the 20-year-old from an unrelated incident in 2015. Now, nearly 3 years later, Columbus police believe Ross broke into a home, burglarized it, and sexually assaulted the victim. Chief Fred Shelton says DNA was collected from the original scene and ran through a national DNA database.
So with DNA, it never changes. It's a biometric, much like a fingerprint, in that each person's DNA is individual for the most part.
Ross's DNA was collected when he went to prison for an auto burglary conviction and put into the CODIS system. That national database is what turned up the hit, leading police to their suspect.
If we find that type of evidence on a crime scene, then even if we can't make a positive identification immediately with the use of CODIS, the DNA database, then that unknown DNA sits out there basically forever until an individual is arrested for another charge or their DNA goes on that system for some reason, and then we'll make a positive identification.
Now, Ross was denied bond when he went before a judge earlier this week. Reporting in Columbus, Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
This is the second cold case in less than a year that Columbus police has solved using DNA. Just last May, David Murray II was arrested for the death of Mac Fowler, a cold case dating back to 1996. Well, all he wanted was freedom for his 18th birthday, and Braylon Edinburgh got it. But that freedom only lasted a little over a month. Now the 18-year-old is facing a felony escape charge. Lowndes County detectives say Edinburgh escaped from the Lowndes County Juvenile Detention Center on his 18th birthday, which was back on March 21st. He was somehow able to get into a control room and hit the correct button to get out. Edinburgh was arrested at a safety checkpoint last night in Oktibbeha County. Some reported motherly mayhem lands a Nettleton woman behind bars. 30-year-old Tina Nicole Hester is accused of taking her daughter from a class at Nettleton Elementary without checking into the office. Deputies say Hester then cursed in front of students, even threatening another young child. She left the school and was arrested with the help of Amory police. Hester faces a count of disturbance of a school in session, public profanity, and one count of threats toward a student. In her bond agreement, Hester cannot return to the school this year. Time now to turn our attention to weather, and meteorologist Jacob Dickey joins us with a first look at your forecast.
Hey Joey, we are watching the temperatures continue to rise today here in Vernon. Maybe some people getting some gifts for Mother's Day this weekend. Right now the temperature is at 88 in Vernon there, the heat index of 90, light winds, and the dew points are not all that bad, so feeling fairly pleasant given what it could be this time of year. 88 in Vernon, 89 in Aliceville, Louisville, we are at 87, Starkville at 86, and Calhoun City also there. And something we want to remind you too is that remember to keep an eye in the back seat. We're going to have more on the heat coming up here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Jacob. Members of a Tupelo National Guard unit are headed to the U.S.-Mexico border to support Border Patrol operations. Family and friends gathered today for an official send-off. Our Parker King was there, and he joins us live outside of Tupelo's Army Aviation Support Facility with more.
25 soldiers and 3 Lakota helicopters will join thousands of National Guardsmen and women on the border as part of Operation Guardian Support. This is part of the initiative that's been implemented by President Trump and Secretary of Defense James Mattis to assist the U.S. Border Patrol in further deterring potential threats to cross the border. And for C Company here in Tupelo, they were more than happy to accept the call.
We're secure lift front. Secure. Cabin check secure.
Do we get ready to fly?
For C Company of the 114th Aviation, the city of Tupelo is a common sight from their Lakota helicopters. But for the next 3 weeks, 25 of C Company will trade that site for another, the U.S.-Mexican border.
We're excited, ready to get started on this mission, and grateful for the opportunity.
The mission of Operation Guardian Support is assisting U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. In C Company's case, it's in the air.
We're going to be flying overhead, and we'll be helping them identify suspects or anybody that they suspect coming across the border.
Where these soldiers will go has been classified, and per request, we've not shown the faces of those making the trip southwest. This will be C Company's 4th time in 10 years to send soldiers to the border. When the call was made, Major Lynn Fortenberry's men let him know they wanted the mission.
Whenever the option came up, we went to him wanting to go. We were excited from the time we heard that President Trump was going to put somebody on the border.
I was very proud of my guys, of course.
Training is a large part of a company's readiness to deploy. This call to service was received only 2 weeks ago, and while that can be considered short notice, it didn't affect C Company.
Not every unit can stand up in a 2-week period to leave. Our paperwork was ready. Our mechanics are well trained and ready. The crew chiefs and pilots are ready. Aircraft are ready to roll, and we're able to do it.
Again, this is for a 3-week period, and their location is classified, but we'll know they'll be doing Mississippi proud. Live in Tupelo, Parker King, WCBI News.
When we come back, we meet a mother and daughter who are sharing a very unique bond this Mother's Day. Welcome back, everyone. A Columbus family is calling it a Mother's Day miracle. At 13 months old, Adeline Rollins had a live liver transplant. The live donor, her mother. Our Scott Martin sits down with the Rollins family and shares their miraculous journey. He joins us live in the studio with more.
Yeah, Joey, for most new parents, those early weeks with their baby are spent marking milestones. Well, that wasn't the case for Rollins. Their time instead spent making hospital visits, but a life-saving surgery and a community full of love makes this Mother's Day a celebration.
Say hi.
You can't tell it by the smile on her face now, but soon after baby Adeline was born in December of 2016, her mom Margaret knew something was wrong.
It all started on New Year's Eve. That was our first ER visit. So we took her to the ER in Jackson, and the next week we started having specialist appointment, and it's been almost been like there's been something every week.
Adeline's angel. Nurse practitioner Amy Robertson made the startling discovery. Adeline was diagnosed with biliary atresia, a rare liver disease.
We can't put it off, so I actually went to her in-laws' house that night and told them.
It was very hard to process, and that was the hardest part of this journey, was the early days in that first surgery.
The unknown, not knowing anything about the disease. I mean, I remember, I think we both hit the floor, like it literally hit the floor in his mother's basement, you know, and couldn't get up for a while. It was hard.
The first surgery didn't work. Doctors in Atlanta decided a liver transplant needed to happen. But this wasn't just any transplant. It was a live liver transplant, an operation that hadn't been done in years. Margaret and Adeline were a perfect match.
I did what any parent would do. I did what he would have done if he could have donated. He wasn't a blood match. So it's just our story.
A story they want to share with everyone. Margaret and John Michael are continuing Adeline's fight by sharing the importance of organ donation because it saved their daughter's life.
From where she was and how sick she was and how miserable she seemed, and we honestly didn't even realize how miserable she obviously was because it was our normal, because she had been like that basically her entire life. And seeing her now, it's a miracle.
With no more feeding tubes, she gets to play with Big Brother Walker, and she's even learning how to stand on her own 2 feet.
There were many days I thought she's not going to make it through, you know. And it just, when she started eating food and just she was happy.
A miraculous journey shared by so many here in Columbus.
People just love her like their own, so we're thankful for everybody.
Now, those who've worked with Adeline have become more like family. Margaret says that a Baptist phlebotomist makes her schedule fit just for Adeline because she's the only one who can get to those tiny veins. Amy, that you saw in the story there, will always have a present from Adeline. And both Margaret and John Michaels say their jobs have really been a blessing during this last year. Adeline still has to go through monthly checkups. Joey.
So glad she's doing well. Mitchell Dental Clinic in Ackerman put smiles on a lot of faces today. Dr. David Mitchell, his team of dentists, and several volunteers offered free dental work to the first 150 people who came in. Patients received care, including fillings, extractions, and cleanings. This is the 11th free day of dentistry, and Mitchell says he wants to keep the event going.
You know, we can't fix everybody's mouth totally today, but if we do something nice for somebody, show them they're loved, somebody cares about them, then we hope they're going to go home and, you know, not kick the dog or whatever, you know what I mean? So we hope that they'll go home and spread that love to somebody else.
Over the past 10 years, Mitchell Dental has helped over 1,300 patients.
Well, the heat is on full blast this weekend. We get those temperatures into the low 90s. The heat index could push 95, even upper 90s. Coming up after a break, we'll have the full forecast on the heat and when some showers and storms will return.
First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Plenty of sunshine out there today here in downtown Columbus. Really getting all of the warmth that we could today. Those temperatures in the upper 80s still at this hour. Columbus, we are sitting at 87, and we are sharing it here in the southeast, seeing those upper 80s all across the board from Oklahoma and Texas all the way to the east to the Carolina coast there. Lots of warmth air as this ridge of high pressure sits over us, giving us plenty of sunshine and that warmth. There are some showers off to the south here off the Florida coast. We will keep our eyes on that coming early next week, and a few showers to our north, but again, staying dry for much of the southeast and through the evening as well. Those temperatures dropping into the 70s by 11 p.m., into the 60s tonight under a mostly clear sky. Will not be that bad actually out there. We can get those temperatures into the low to mid 60s. 62 in Amory, Columbus at 64, Macon 62, Louisville will drop down to 61. Very much a pleasant relief to the heat of the day that we have had these past several days. Tomorrow then, we warm right back up, getting those temperatures into the 90s yet again. Lunchtime even will be hot out there. Be seeing those upper 80s, and we stay hot there through the day. Temperatures across the area into the 80s and 90s. 92 in Tupelo, 90 in Pontotoc. Houston will get up to 91. We'll call it a sunny sky for the day. Maybe a few clouds, but no chance of rain. West Alabama also seeing those 90s. 91 in Solagent, and in Reform, Aliceville, we will get up to 92. And then for the Golden Triangle, we'll get to 93 here in the Friendly City, 92 in Macon and Louisville. Starkville will get up to 91, as will Eupora and Winona. Lots of heat for the day. As far as we go in Starkville, the temperatures forecasted in red. The record is the white line. We get very close, if not break those records, through next Monday and maybe even on Tuesday, keeping an eye on there as this unseasonably warm weather kicks in. Really a good 10 degrees above where we should be this time of year. And that doesn't look to change anytime soon. Thanks to this high pressure here, it's helping to bring in some moisture, not too much. We may have to wait till Sunday, Monday before this tropical low wants to start slowly sliding in our direction. Not a hurricane, not a tropical storm, just a low pressure system that will help to spin some moisture into our area Monday and Tuesday. And we will feel that here in the coming days as our dew points start to rise by Monday and Tuesday, getting more closer to sticky, maybe even oppressive out there as the feelings of that temperature. And if you were hoping for any relief from the heat, the latest extended outlook for weeks 3 and 4, that's May 28th through June 8th, shows the heat sticking around here. Good odds of above normal temperatures. We will keep those 90s on the board through Tuesday. A little bit cooler, the upper 80s, but still hot and humid with chance of storms next week. Joey?
All right, thanks, Jacob. Another down to the wire finish in 1A Fast Pitch State Championships. The highlights from Starkville next in sports.
WCDI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Fast Pitch State Championships continuing Friday. Area teams looking to bring home hardware or keep their season alive for one more day. We start with an all-area matchup in 1A. Hamilton facing Myrtle. Lady Lions looking to win it. Myrtle looking to even things up. Top 3 we go for Myrtle. 2 runners on for Allie Smith, who delivers an RBI base hit that brings home Megan Lowry and Kingsley Gordon, so the Lady Hawks take an early 2-0 lead. And then we would jump to the bottom of the 5th for Hamilton. Runners on, bases loaded for Taylor Brock. She delivers. The outfielder, Allie Smith, can't make the play. Madison Evans, Tori Harrison, and Hannah Rooks all coming home to score. That would tie the ball game up at 3 in the bottom of the 5th. Yet another barn burner in 1A, and Hamilton would take the lead thanks to Tori Harrison. This hammer shot to left brings home Madison Evans, so the Lady Lions take a 5-4 lead. But to the top of the 7th, Myrtle not going anywhere. Tied at 5, 2 runners on from Megan Lowry, who delivers the game-winning hit. Base hit brings home Kirsten Young and Ashley Rourke. Lady Hawks take a 7-5 lead, and in the bottom of the 7th, all they had to do was catch a simple flyout. Myrtle wins Game 2, 7-5 over Hamilton to force a decisive Game 3. That game will be coming up at noon tomorrow to decide who takes home the 1A crown. But in 3A, Houston looking to bring home the 3A state title. Game 2 against Raleigh Lady Toppers won yesterday. Top 3, Jordan Bell Moore, base hit, gets through the third baseman's 5, and then that would be a base hit to bring Aquana Brownlee. Man, she's been absolutely red hot in the state championship. 2-run homer gives the Lady Toppers a 2-0 lead. Top of the 4th, Houston still up 4-0. Paige Gilgore, deep shot to left, bounces over the wall for a ground rule double. She'll take that. Easy double there for Kilgore. And then still in the inning, runners on 3rd, Jasmine Rogers. Base hit, throw to first, not in time. Sydney Bean would score. Houston, absolute machine. The Lady Toppers are your 3A state champions. They defeat Raleigh 10-2. We'll hear much more from the state champion Toppers head coach, some players, all of that coming up at 10 right here on WCBI Sports. Baseball continuing today for the North and South half finals in 6A. DeSoto Central at Oxford. Chargers looking to keep their season alive. New Hope traveling to Kosciuszko, an insane game last night. Trojans will look to lock it up tonight. The all-area matchups in 3A and 2A. North Pontotoc and Boonville. Vikings won Game 1, and then East Webster versus East Union. The Wolverines rallied last night. They'll look to close out the series tonight. And then in 1A North, Smithville versus West Union, and Nanawaya and Stringer in the South. We'll keep you updated on all these high school baseball scores and see who could be going to some state championships next week coming up at 10. And just really quickly, so Lowndes County School Board making some coaching changes official today. Wade Tackett is officially the New Hope head football coach. Travis Garner, former Starkville head baseball coach, is the same position in Caledonia. And as for Caledonia's head football coaching position, David King's hiring is still pending due to completion of paperwork and determination of some issues. We'll have much more coming up at 10 right here on WCBI Sports. We'll blast with your forecast next.
Well, we will break some records this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, maybe even into Monday as those highs in the low to mid 90s in spots. We'll feel heat index up to 97, 98. And then by the time Sunday, Monday, we'll start to feel the humidity, the moisture out there. By Tuesday, then expect to get some showers and storms.
Those showers and storms, we'll be welcoming them.
Yes.
All right, thanks so much, everyone. Have a great weekend.